We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. So, everyone is negative on Bitcoin. I can prove it, right? Did a positive Bitcoin video yesterday, and I don't know, views were at an all-time low for that. No one's bullish Bitcoin yet. The dollar is collapsing, right? Gold is rampaging higher. Stocks are not a good investment anymore. They might go down. They might go up a little and form a range. But how is that a good investment? Everyone who's watching gold over in the equity markets, well, they can join in on gold, and there's a long-term chart that would justify that. But how is it that no one thinks Bitcoin is going to join gold with a dollar devaluation in process? That's right. I said the words. Dollar devaluation in process. In other words, everyone's like, oh my God, oh my God, this and oh my God, that. They need rates lower and they need the dollar lower because the only way out of a debt crisis is to devalue the currency. And they don't care if the dollar free falls. They just don't. They don't. And this has happened before. It happened in 1985 on purpose. It happened in 2000. We'll go over the charts about what happened when everyone just woke up and was like, you know what? Rates are too high and things are about to get a little sour. So let's sell this thing. Right. And then, Doomberg's going to write that, oh my God, Trump is undermining it, everything about America. Maybe. Or maybe these guys just don't care because they want the dollar and rates lower. So if they have to go out and break things, well, let's go out and break things. I mean, I don't think they want it to be the end of the world, but there are signals that they just don't care. They don't care. It's like, oh, hedge funds blow up, whatever. Treasury bond auctions have problems. Okay, well, that's not what we want, but whatever. If the dollar's blowing up, great. Awesome. Right? We want our goods overseas to be more competitive, and we need the currency lower, period. And that's happening. And meanwhile, back in crypto land, all the crypto bros out, bearish, negative, won't touch it. Selling Bitcoin last night below 80. Selling Bitcoin last night below 80. I'm looking at this and I'm like, what are people doing? What are we doing? ETH at 1,400, like no one's ever going to want tokenized assets after all this has happened. It's like, you got to be kidding me. And I got an ETH versus Bitcoin chart that's just absolutely unbelievable. I've been waiting. I was like, don't get too bullish ETH. But, I didn't think they were taking ETH down to 1,400. It's like, what? It's insane. It literally is insane. We've lost our mind in crypto. And when we put all the marbles back in the bag and we've got all our marbles again, because we've lost them. So when we find our marbles and get them back in the bag, everyone's going to look at each other and go, why is Bitcoin at 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89? Why is Bitcoin below 100? There's no reason for Bitcoin to be below 100. Matter of fact, there's a ton of reasons why Bitcoin should be at 120. And everyone thinks it can't go there. Everyone thinks that can't happen. Really? Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens when everyone sits around and reads the financial papers over the weekend and goes, this stock portfolio, this bond portfolio, they're losing on everything. They're losing on stocks. They're losing on bonds. Hedge funds are about to nuke the bond market. What is it that people are going to do? How easy is it for people in legacy to go, well, gold's going up. Bitcoin's digital gold. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Go to Schwab account, push the button. Out of bonds, out of stocks, into Bitcoin. I don't even think it's 3 buttons. You might be able to do it all at the same time. Meanwhile, we're all bearish. We're all bearish. We're all down in the mouth. We're upset. Well, of course we're upset. The market sucks. We're all rattled. But the thing is, when everyone else is rattled, that's when you got to be composed. That's when you got to say, oh, okay, wait a minute. Right. This is when you act like Michael Saylor. Notice Michael Saylor headlines nowhere. Market's going up. Michael Saylor, 3 different tweets, 5 different interviews. Yeah, no one's interested. No one wants to hear it. And of course, that's when you get super loud. Well, at least that's what I do. Okay. Let's welcome who's here. Caminilla is on the stream. Arundam, Vanessa, Warmon, Grandpa Keeter. So you go right on asking questions. We're going to get our act together on that other stream. Taz Pinball, Lee, SGSG, the original, Tyler, Jacob, Wickedly, MJ Hits, welcome. Oh no, Thomas, welcome. Manu, Lee, Sherlock, what's up? Lee says, I'm bullish BTC. Dude, listen, you want the market update? We're in an elevator at work. Ding. Good morning, Bob. How you doing? Whatever, man. It's just another day. Hey, you want the roadmap of crypto? I'll give you a roadmap of crypto. Bitcoin, then ETH, then memes. That's the roadmap in crypto. Starting with Bitcoin now. Ding. Have a good day. Not playing around. News. Let's go. Okay, so inflation. Gee, look what happens when you whack NVIDIA and all these Magnificent Seven tech stocks. You know, I got a message for the Magnificent Seven tech stocks. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple different fingers here. You could pick one. Pick the magic one for the Magnificent Seven. Done. Gee, PPI month over month, down. PPI core, down, expected up. PPI, 2.7%, expected 3.3%. PPI core, 3.3%, expected 3.6%. You know, hey, someone called Jerome Powell. Hey, Jerome, why are rates at 4.25%? What? Because I'm stupid? Because I'm worried about inflation after 4 years of ignoring it? Oh, okay. That guy's gone. God forbid the Supreme Court comes out and says the orange man could get rid of him. I mean, he won't even have time to pack before security's taking him out. Done. And at this point, honestly, I was worried about this hedge fund trade in the bond market blowing up, and it is blowing up. I mean, there's no question about it, right? And that's not going to be pretty. But the thing is, people are going to realize, and they're realizing it right now, last night, wait a minute. This is bullish Bitcoin. This is everything you ever wanted, and everyone's looking at it like, I don't want that, right? I don't want it. There's a scene from the Brady Bunch where Peter Brady is sick. His dad brings him lunch. Peter doesn't like the lunch. The dad says this lunch is fit for a king, and Peter says, well, go give it to the king and bring me what I want. That's what we're doing in crypto. We're like, I don't want it. I don't want Bitcoin. I don't want to get a 2 or 3x in Bitcoin because I'm upset. I don't want it. Okay. Let's just take it straight to 120. Like, there's the Bitcoin conference in May. I don't think it's bad to put up an affiliate link for that if we have it. There's a Bitcoin conference in May, and no one wants to go. Right? They got Ross as a speaker. They announced that yesterday. No one wants to go. Right? Which is exactly why you should go. It's exactly why you should go. Because, they're going to trot out very big sovereign players at this thing. And they're going to have it I'm telling you, no one sees it now. Like if Bitcoin was at 102, you wouldn't be able to get a ticket, a hotel, a flight, nothing. I'm telling you, nobody wants to go to that. And it is so bullish. It's stupid. The only asset that has a totally consistent story for the last 6 months is gold. And no one understands this, right? A gold is a dollar devaluation. They just can't figure out how to devalue it against other currencies. They can't figure out how to devalue the dollar against other currencies. And whether they did it on purpose or not, they're like, you know what? Maybe in order to get the dollar lower, we have to come out and start breaking things. We just have to break things. That's how they broke things. Everyone's like, oh my God. Okay, so here we go, right? This is from September 2022 at the top. Look at this. This is the dollar index probably at 111, dollar index falling below 100. I couldn't get the cover of Bloomberg magazine where they're like, dollar is indestructible. The unstoppable dollar at the top. Doomberg. Look at this. This is recent. U.S. dollar's extended reign delivers stark wake-up call. The world's financial markets are encountering a force they didn't bet on. A strong dollar is back and looks like it's set to stay. Short everything. What a bunch of dummies. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here in legacy. So this hedge fund trade is blowing up, right? This is an indication of the trade blowing up. Interest rates are rising, right? So this is the Besant red line. Like, interest rates are rising when they should be falling. It's a big problem, okay? The Bank of Japan and the ECB should probably be having emergency moves tonight. And now check this out. E-mini liquidity, okay? So you know how I'm always talking about, well, the only thing out there that they can sell is S&P futures. Well, this is what this is. So let's just review what we've learned. There's a problem in the bond market. Let's leave it at that. And they can't sell stocks anymore. They can't hedge. Hedging is too expensive, and they can't sell futures because there's no liquidity. There's no liquidity, right? You understand what that means, right? It's like in an altcoin. The altcoin doesn't have enough liquidity. People can't sell. Guess what? Whatever's going on in S&P futures, there's no liquidity. So you're going to have these huge 5, 6, 8% swings. And if you want to protect yourself, you have two choices. You can pay ridiculous prices for stock hedges or insurance, but fear is very high. You can try to short these things. Good luck with that unless you're selling a rally. What else can you do? Well, you can buy gold. Okay. Gold's going to go up, but it's not going to go up faster than your P&L is going down in legacy or bonds. What's the only thing that moves fast enough that can protect you against all these things? Gee, I wonder. Treasuries are trading like a risky asset in warning to Trump. Notice that everything Doomberg says has to have warning to Trump or it's Trump's fault at the end of it. Just saying, right? It's like it's so blatantly left, but this is accurate. They're basically saying that, government bonds are freaking out. They're freaking out. Tariff uncertainty, Orange Man is seemingly unhinged on Twitter. Okay, whatever. I just said that's the point that I got to in Bitcoin. Yeah, they're going to have a blow up in stocks. But if you have a blow up in stocks and a blow up in bonds, nobody can hedge. Everyone's trapped. The whole legacy system just cracks. This is everything you ever wanted for the Bitcoin standard. Because eventually they're going to have to back some sort of bond, some sort of treasury, or the dollar with Bitcoin. It's eventual. RFK had the speech. Again, I got to get the speech out. I got to play it. I got to transcribe it so I can read it on the air along with the declaration of cryptocurrency independent from McAfee. So no one listened to RFK. No one listened to McAfee. But what happens when they get this all at once, right? Gradually, then suddenly. Not to mention the administration has got to change the freaking subject. They've got to change the subject, right? Chinese currency is about to vaporize and go to zero. They fired a general over there, which means there could be a coup going on or a possible attempted coup. That's a total mess. And the only answer to that is to buy Bitcoin. You buy Bitcoin in New York. You buy Bitcoin in London. You buy Bitcoin in Hong Kong. You especially buy Bitcoin in Hong Kong. I can't believe. No, I remember this like 6 months ago. Like, the Chinese are coming. Oh my God. Everybody on YouTube's like, here it goes. That's all still there. That's all still there. And the value proposition is bigger than it ever was. Okay, now this we have to talk about. Okay, because this is what's driving the dollar. Now, this is called a credit default swap. Okay, now what is a credit default swap? Well, it's kind of a number that reflects fear about your credit worthiness, right? So if credit default swaps are moving higher, that means somebody out there is worried that you're going to default or that your debt is garbage. It's a good way for like normal people, even if you don't understand what a credit default swap is, this number when it goes up. So this is like, this happened to Greece. This happened to Spain. This happened to Portugal. This is a long time ago, right? This is happening to us now. The market is going, you know what? We're not doing this. We're not doing this with you guys. You guys are acting crazy. Sell everything. Sell stocks, sell bonds, sell dollars. The dollar going down is good long term, but people are losing it in legacy. They're losing it, right? And they don't have any liquidity. So I just keep, some guy on YouTube said it, and I know that people in crypto want sexy altcoins. You get sexy altcoins after you get Bitcoin at 120, right? I mean, one guy said, the more you understand about Bitcoin, and I say, the more you understand about what's going on in legacy, the more bullish Bitcoin you get. And the longer you can wait. It's like, okay, I can wait for you imbeciles. You want to sell it below 80? I'll take some more. It's crazy. You're going to wake up and Bitcoin's going to be at 95. Because no one understands why it's down. Like, who knew in January that their solution to getting Bitcoin higher was to come in and break the whole world? And we don't get it. We don't get it. Right? That's why, DeFi and all these things, they're going to come raging back if they crack legacy. And Besson is saying, you know what? We don't care about the capital class. You having a problem with your stocks, a problem with your bonds, hedge funds getting nuked? So what? We'll use it as an excuse to fire Powell. I mean, that appears to be the attitude. Now, is that smart? I don't know. But if the Chinese currency crashes, they're going to have them on their knees. So I don't know if it's a terrible strategy. Is it scary? Is the news media going to write it up like it's the end of the world? Of course they are. But is it bad for Bitcoin? My answer would be no, it's great for Bitcoin. The Bank of Japan and the ECB should probably have an emergency phone call tonight about the dollar. And here's the dude going, ask Perplexity, why is he saying this? People don't get this. The dollar is going to vaporize. And that's going to cause a currency disturbance in other countries. It's a race to the bottom. People want their currencies to fall. So your currency can fall, like the Chinese currency is falling. That's good for now, unless it doesn't stop falling, right? And then when you look at the dollar on a quarterly basis, right? So this is 1985, where everyone got together, the G7, and said the dollar is too strong. And they gave the foreign exchange market a blank check to just destroy it. So this is how Soros made all his money. So this is a quarterly chart. So this is the dollar going straight down for like 3 years. Straight down, right? I mean, the Japanese were sending Toyotas over here, right? And the exchange rate was so favorable for them that all the auto industry, it was over for them because they were sending better cars at half the price. So like, all right, we need the dollar lower and we need yen higher. So they just said, boom, it's called a Plaza Accord. Then this is over here with Greenspan jamming rates higher to try to stop a legitimate bubble in the stock market. And then he did that. And then, you had a recession, you had accounting fraud, you had Enron, you had 9/11, and the dollar goes, boom, goes from 125 to 71. Okay, so things happen in threes. 1, 2, 3. Hey, don't you love this? Everyone's like, oh my God, emergency meeting at the Bank of Japan. Oh my God, the dollar index is below 100. I can't wait to see what these characters are going to do when the dollar index is at 70. And where does that put Bitcoin? This is what I don't understand. Look at this chart and tell me this is not bullish Bitcoin. Everyone's like, well, it's bullish gold. Yeah, of course it's bullish gold. I've said gold's going to 5,000. Somebody out there is short gold and they can't get enough of it. That's the worst kept secret in the whole world. But what happens if the dollar index takes out 96? And what happens if that starts to accelerate? Remember, volatility moves from market to market. So first, stocks, insane. Then bonds, insane. Then bond market blow up. Then foreign exchange, insane. Then crypto, insane. Volatility moves from market to market, right? When this starts, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop until you have something spectacular happen. Weekly jobless claims rise marginally. Okay. So a word about this. We're not in a recession yet. So, jobless claims are the best thing to file. Like initial claims for unemployment and continuing claims for unemployment, usually released weekly every Thursday, is a better metric than anything that they have about what's going on with the economy, right? Jobless claims fall, stock market goes up. Okay. If jobless claims start rising, then you have a bigger problem with the economy and rates are just going to drop faster. Arkham alert, World Liberty is moving funds around. Okay. They're getting ready to buy oil coins. They're probably going to double up in ETH. Why wouldn't they? And if you were long ETH at 3,200 and then they give you a half off sale, just double up. Because if Bitcoin goes to 120, ETH is going to go right back to 3,000. You could get a 1x in ETH just because all you need is one announcement that someone's going to build something on ETH because legacy is effed. And a lot of that stuff is already queued up, like Ondo, BlackRock. I mean, it's not like they have to reinvent the wheel. It's already there. Ripple is buying, prime brokers, trying to get stuff going on their network. Okay, another build in crude stocks driving oil down further. So oil voted for the orange man for drill, baby, drill. And Besant came in and drilled oil down to 50, which is not what they wanted. They're not profitable with oil at 60. So they're going to have to do massive tax incentives for those guys. You're just going to have a tax incentive to drill, baby, drill. So that maybe they can stay profitable with oil at 60. In the meantime, if they take food down 20% and gas is below $2 in non-California states, it's like stimulus for like Joe Public. He doesn't care about NVIDIA. He doesn't care about the Magnificent Seven. He's like, smoke that stuff. Smoke it. The only thing that makes any sense in this environment is Bitcoin. By the way, Bitcoin does great when oil goes lower, statistically in the past. ETH, when gold and silver go up and the dollar go down, that's supposed to be good for ETH. Can't wait to see if that's still true. Cypherpunk legend Adam Back says Bitcoin is fully decoupled from the stock market. He says now is a buying opportunity. Okay, well, no one's listening to me and no one's listening to him. And no one will listen until Bitcoin's at 98 and people go, oh man, they were selling it at 78. They were pushing it out of a moving car. No one wanted it. No one wanted to go to the Bitcoin conference. Nobody wanted it. Seriously, no one wants it. I did a video yesterday on Bitcoin going to 120. It's like the lowest rated views ever. Might as well do a video and read out of the phone book. No one cares. Besant on today's market, up 10, down 5, not bad. They don't care. They don't care. Oh, Mr. Besant, are you worried that the stock market went down? No. No, I'm not. I'm not. I don't care. Have a nice day. POTUS wants to use the tariff revenue to reduce debt, reduce taxes. They want to reduce taxes. That's what they really want to do. Right. And of course, lean all over the Chinese until they break and stop being at war with us on everything. Right. They're just going to break them. And they don't care if they break the system. They don't care. And if they break the Chinese and they go flying into Bitcoin, I mean, go ask artificial intelligence for a picture of what Macau looks like. Matter of fact, let's just do that right now. Show a large overhead view of the Macau casino area in China. Okay, so the Chinese love to gamble, right? And if you give them something that's moving in a particular direction, like Bitcoin or their own stock indexes, they'll love it. They will. Like their currency's falling and they're panicking and they're losing it. And then if you look at their gambling mentality, right? They smell that they can make money speculating. This is Macau, right? I don't know if that's actually what it looks like, but the Chinese like to gamble. Okay. And if you give them something to gamble in, they'll do it. And if their currency is collapsing and they get to gamble at the same time, watch out. World Food Program announces that they will now accept crypto. Fill in the blank. Such and such will now accept crypto. Walmart. I think Walmart's next. I've thought that for 3 years. I know I keep saying that. I'm like a broken clock. I'll eventually be right. You start seeing mainstream crypto adoption. We'll take Litecoin. We'll take Bitcoin. It could be that simple. It could be that simple. People are like, oh my God, how are we going to get this on our books? Let's just accept it at our stores. Okay, so the good news is you'll get to hear Ross's story at the Bitcoin conference. All right. Honestly, I think the bad news is they're desperate to get people over there. Right. And I think what's going to happen with this is that you get it. I'm serious. Forget my affiliate link. They don't have anybody to speak at it. They got Ross. I do believe they're going to get Janice McAfee eventually, right? Because they don't have a draw. Think about that. No one cares about Bitcoin. No one wants to hear Michael Saylor anymore. No one wants to hear it. They're going to have to send the government. They're going to have to send RFK. They may have to send the Orange Man himself to make an announcement that blows everyone's mind, because they can't do any more BS, especially if they go out and break legacy, right? They're going to break something. And, this would be a perfect time to roll it all out. I mean, I know that they have the conference does have some sovereign guys or some government guys speaking, but they don't have a major draw to make the whole world want to go see this. But they're going to. See, that's the key, right? You got to get long. In research, you get paid for imagination, right? When I saw this, I'm like, okay, no one's bullish Bitcoin. No one. I'm glad Ross is going to get to speak, but no one's bullish. No one wants to go to this conference. No one wants to go. That's when you go. Ether ETF staking could come as soon as May. But let's take Ethereum down to where it was in 2017. We are back to ETH has absolutely no use case according to the cryptocurrency market. ETH and all those layer twos is useless. No one wants it. Done. Let's take it back to the freaking Stone Ages, which is where ETH was in 2017. Are you kidding me? And they're going to have staking in the ETF. And BlackRock just can't buy enough, because BlackRock's probably going to be the one that comes in and wants to do RWA on ETH somehow. I just can't believe no one's using their imagination. The Bitcoin standard is unfolding as we speak, and the use case for ETH seems obvious to me. And what is your downside exactly? I mean, okay, there was downside at 3,000. No one knew. There was downside at 2,000. No one really suspected that. But I mean, at 1,400, there's nothing ever going to happen in ETH that's positive ever in our life. Get out of here. Look at this. GameStop is about to buy more Bitcoin than Tesla. You got to watch out, man. This thing with every corporation, this was a joke. I thought it was a joke. They sold stock to buy Bitcoin. They look like geniuses at this point. Literally geniuses. And I made fun of them. So I stand corrected. And it makes me more bullish than ever, because everyone has to buy it now. And it's so freaking cheap. If they have to buy it, and it's at 100, they're like, I don't want to do it. Right? I don't want to do it because everyone else is doing it, and I'm going to look like I don't have an original idea. But how many corporations are going to start coming in going, wait a minute, states, whoever, even the general public, maybe the general public's just going to go on Coinbase and hit the green button and be like, F this, I'm done. Okay, IRS crypto ruling about DeFi gone. No one cares. Orange Man signs, resolution erasing, the crypto rule on DeFi. Again, no one cares. Okay. Clarity on laws. So you want regulatory clarity. Bessent wants stable coins. You're about to get regulatory clarity. I mean, you have it because the SEC just closed everything with crypto. The Department of Justice closed everything with crypto, and we just can't stop selling. We just can't stop selling. And we're massively bearish. Every time the market goes down, everyone loses their mind. Okay. 75,000 homeless people in Los Angeles. Where is this? 75,000 homeless people in Los Angeles. $24 billion spent on LA homelessness. $2 billion unaccounted for in LA County. Zero improvement. Do sovereigns have your interest at heart? People are going to start asking these questions, right? They're going to start asking these questions when they find out about all the phony baloney, like when the hedge funds come down and the stock market comes down and they keep finding all this fraud in the government. People are just going to go, you know what? I'm done with this. And the administration in some ways is okay with it as long as it's not a nuke. You know, again, they have to be careful of unintended consequences. But I mean, it's like, why would you not look at a different system when this kind of stuff is going on? Look at this puking. NFT trader down 10 million on CryptoPunk. He bought an alien CryptoPunk 1 year ago for $16 million, and he just sold it for $6 million. He just locked in a $10 million loss. Okay, so paying $16 million for a JPEG might not be the smartest thing in the whole world. They just can't stop puking. It's probably that's a way of puking ETH, right? This guy's afraid that his CryptoPunk is going to collapse because he's afraid ETH is going to go to zero because he's bought into this whole idea that ETH has no use case. Meanwhile, these guys just continue to buy to the point where it's boring. It's like, wow, look at these fools. Look at these fools treating Bitcoin like NASDAQ. Thank you. I'm going to be rich and you're going to be poor, right? Bassett revealed the first layer debt management. 9.5 needs refinancing in 2025. Market volatility pushed investors towards treasuries. Not exactly. Yields dropped. Not really. Not absolutely not. Okay. So tariffs aren't a trade policy. They're a fiscal strategy. Okay. Well, that's what they think, right? That's what they want. But they may not get that. The only way anybody may want to buy treasuries is if the dollar gets vaporized and all of a sudden our bonds and everything else looks cheap. The only way out of a debt crisis is to devalue the currency. I keep saying that. I know nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about, and no one trading it no one will trade it until they do, which I think they're doing right now as we talk, right? Okay, yeah. So 120K Bitcoin with the cowboy hat. Maybe my mouth was a little bit too open. Nobody watched the video. Nobody watched the video, which is how I know that it's going up. Okay, so a few words. So this is the dollar about to get vaporized. And here's gold on a quarterly basis. So this is a quarterly DeMark chart. Each bar is 3 months. Okay. And this is your 9 top. And as I've talked about with DeMark work, you can go up. You have this 9 signal. Then you can have a pause that refreshes. And if the market doesn't turn around and go down, then the trend can continue. It can just continue for 13 quarters. That's 2 years. Whoop. Where's Bitcoin going to be if gold goes up for 13 quarters? 13 quarters, right? It's unstoppable, right? And everyone is trying to tell me that this does not affect Bitcoin. ETH versus Bitcoin on a monthly basis, okay? So first of all, I got my 9 bottom and my 13 bottom. You know, the plus sign is like, well, ETH's going to bottom anytime soon. Ah, finally. Right? Painful. Okay. So what you don't realize is that the DeMark work is showing this is the first wave up. So from 2019 to 2021, that was the first leg of ETH doing better than Bitcoin. This was a correction, a 2-wave. So all you did was unwind the 1 wave, which is very typical, right? You have 1 leg up, right? And then sometimes you can have a 38% retracement. Sometimes you can have a 62. Sometimes you can have a 76. And sometimes you retrace the whole thing. And if that doesn't make any sense, it's like a gigantic double bottom. Like ETH will rise again. Like this ETH versus Bitcoin number is just going to go, I don't know where it's going to go. It's going to go like up here. I don't even know if I can do it. I don't know. Do I have? Yeah. Okay. It didn't work. Sorry. I'll have to figure out how to use that tool. The point is ETH versus Bitcoin will return back to its high. You will have Bitcoin at 120 or 250, and you will have ETH just gone. You get 10x in ETH. Standard Chartered downgraded their target from, they had it at 10K. Now they got it downgraded to 4K. Okay, maybe ETH goes to 4K, but it's like, where are you long term? Like go back to 2021 and said you'll get to buy ETH at 1,400. Nobody would have ever said that, ever. You would have 100% of the people in crypto saying you're never seeing 1,400 in ETH again. And you have every DeMark bottoming signal in the world that ETH will do better than Bitcoin. Right? Once this bottom is confirmed, which again, Bitcoin prints 120, boom, ETH goes the next day, if not sooner. And even if it's not ETH, it'll be Solana, Cardano, XRP, all of these big, large cap coins. If ETH goes, they will all go. They will all go. And everyone thinks this market is dead. What? What is everyone talking about? Are you kidding? Right? Okay, so here's Bitcoin on a 4-hour chart. Okay, so we'll dive into the minutia with everyone else, right? 81.6 is support. Hopefully this is some kind of range reclaim, right? Where it can get back above to 88. I think the way this works is the second stocks close and stop going down, Bitcoin goes up. So we were going to switch from this whole like Bitcoin goes down all weekend. Now we're going to do this whole thing where Bitcoin goes up all weekend. And then maybe we'll freak out on Sunday night. But at the end of the day, this is everything you ever wanted in Bitcoin, and no one wants it. Okay, Ethereum. This is the 13 bottom. This was March 1st. This whole excessive thing, in my mind, is a blow-off bottom. Selling climax is actually what they call it. Just everyone packing it in and giving up. Solana, same thing, right? 13 bottom, 9 bottom, goes right to the selling climax level, automatically generated by the DeMark work, and it's holding. I cannot bring myself to go, oh yeah, this is no good, right? Here's like the big support point in Bitcoin at 78, okay, from this 13 bottom. And we've been doing this gymnastics. We've been completing these. We've completed this correction from 107, okay? This correction from 107 was essentially A, B, C, or something like that, right? They have done this to the point where they can't do it anymore. They can't correct it anymore. They can't make the correction look any better. Let's put it that way. Right? And we're sitting here at 78, and the next upside target is 89. It's going to happen. You got 13 bottom. You got every bottoming signal in the world. Look at it. Look at the divergence in this DeMark oscillator. New low in price, higher low in the oscillator. I mean, if it reclaims 89, if it broke through the bottom of the range, it's going to break through the top of the range. That's how it works, right? So the range by the DeMark work was 78 to 89. So we had to come down here and give everybody a little rubber glove check, and then boom, it's going to go take out the top end of this range at a minimum quickly, because volatility moves from market to market, right? Don't believe me? Look at this dollar index. Dollar index is now down 1.5%. Let's just put up an 89-minute chart so you can just like focus on what is really going on in the dollar, right? This is normal dollar price action. Boring. Here's a normal dollar down move here. Okay, now here's what we got. Vertical. And you're completely smashing the 200-week moving average. Smashing it. And we talked about this. The last time it broke through the 200-week moving average and stayed below it, it just stayed there. This is done. Now, okay, there's stuff with the yen involved. I don't know if guys in equities are hosed. I don't know, but this is it done. Right? Gold up another 2%. Okay. Silver on its 200-day moving average, right? So this is going to the moon, right? And again, I continue to believe if silver goes, ETH goes. I've said that, right? Copper, they killed it, coming back above the 200-day moving average. This is going up again because this is connected to AI. Can't seem to stop gold. Can't seem to stop it. Again, Lux Algo coming in and buying it yesterday. Like, Lux Algo got fooled up here, and the Momo systems are buying it. And you know what? You haven't even seen the Momo systems in Bitcoin yet. You haven't seen it. So, I wonder what it would take to turn Bitcoin, and could you get it? It's a good question, right? Bitcoin dominance continuing to rise. This new sort of like band thing I got going on Lux Algo. I don't know, man. You got room in Bitcoin dominance. You got room to have Bitcoin go up 10% like that. Just boom. Like in one day, just have it go. Because you got to remember something, foreign exchange, and this is my final point. Foreign exchange was the original disorderly financial market, right? And back in the day, it was commodities and then the wild cowboys that used technical analysis. We were all weirdos. Equities guys like, oh, look at these guys with their charts. What a bunch of weirdos. Wild volatility, crazy all over the place. That's where I learned TA. Nobody has seen foreign exchange volatility in 20 years. Longer than that, right? When was the last time you saw real foreign exchange volatility? A very long time. And if you look at Move, which I will show on the way out here, right? Everyone's like, oh, what's going on with VIX? What's going on with VIX? Don't worry about what's going on with VIX. VIX has gotten to the point where it's so expensive, no one can use it. No one can use S&P options anymore. Okay. Move, which is down today. Bond market and currency market volatility got extreme, but it's still very elevated. So if they want to sell Bitcoin today because equities go down, whatever. Like I can wait. I can wait for Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin goes to 120 and you miss it, and I can't miss it at 80. I can't let my audience miss it at 80. I would rather have you hate me and say, you know what, Bill, I got stopped out. You said it was okay at 70 and it wasn't. So blank you, versus, wow, it went to 120 and I missed it. ETH was at 1400 and I wouldn't touch it. I can't live with that. Okay. That's it for today. I will see you next week.